Chapter 3. And we get to see some kings going to battle again here and inquiring of the Lord, and the Lord providing for them in a pretty miraculous way. But before we get into that, I want to remind you today, let's remember to be in prayer for Robert and Shelley Persinger. So this scene seems kind of familiar to me. We have the king of Israel going to war against the Moabites. The Moabites have decided they're going to rebel against Israel. Of course, this is one of Ahab's sons, Jehoram, who is, just like Ahab, not a very good king. He does what he wants to do. He doesn't care about what the Lord wants. Jehoshaphat, who I just love that king. He's still reigning in Judah. He's still trying to please the Lord. And, of course, Jehoram reaches out to Jehoshaphat like he did, I think the last king did this thing, or Ahab, one of them, reached out to Jehoshaphat and said, I need your help. Come to battle with me. And so Jehoshaphat, he does it again. He commits himself to the king of Israel, which I think is pretty incredible. I think by this point I'd say, you know what? You're on your own. You're not seeking God. You've gotten yourself into this mess that you're in. Don't be bringing any of your trouble down here. But hey, Jehoshaphat decides to team up with Jehoram, and they're going to go to battle together. Well, they are marching him, and they have the king of Edom with them too, and they end up going through this sort of desert wilderness where it's been 7 days. They don't have any water, and things are looking particularly grim for them. And Jehoshaphat, he does the same thing that he did in that previous chapter where he says, is there a prophet of the one true God anywhere around here that we can talk to? And that's what leads them to Elijah. And that just stands out to me. I mean, that's what he wants. And the last time they brought all the other prophets who were just telling them all the things they wanted to hear, and he said, I don't care what these guys say. I want to hear from a prophet of the one true God. And they go and they see Elijah, and Elijah doesn't want anything to do with the king of Israel. But he says, because of Jehoshaphat, because he's here, I'm going to inquire of the Lord for you. And what does the Lord say? I think it's really a response into a response to Jehoshaphat's faith, that he says, I'm going to take care of you. God says, this is going to be a light thing for me. And I love that phrase too. He says, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm going to provide water for you. You're not even going to see it rain, but there's going to be water. And that's what happens. The Lord provides water for them, and more than that, he delivers them from the Moabites. And so this is, I think, if we take anything from this chapter, we have to look at the contrast between these two kings. One king who is sort of selfishly trying to do things their way, not thinking about what the Lord wants, depending on themselves and getting help wherever they can, and one king who is turning towards the Lord. And we see on display here the Lord's ability to bring salvation, to bring abundance of water in the middle of a desert, to bring blessing to those who are willing to look to him for their deliverance and their security. So I think that is a testimony for us today, and something for us to think about and meditate about. But I pray that this chapter is a blessing. If God revealed something to you through this chapter you want to share, leave a comment on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching this. But I pray that it is a blessing to you today. God bless you. Thank you for